So yesterday we had a topic which was liked by some of you, and not only is it interesting, but also of use in daily life. The topic was, what are the differences that are common amongst men and women?
Sir, physiological differences.
Psychological, not physiological. Physiological means differences in our anatomy, body parts. Psychological means mental differences. Okay? Physiological and psychological are very different. Physiological differences, of course, are there. Our anatomy is different. But what are the psychological differences? That is more important to understand because they are not visible like anatomical differences. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So yesterday we discussed what are these differences, and I briefly told you why these differences exist.
Yes, sir.
Today we will discuss in more detail why these differences exist. What are the origins of these differences? Origins means how were they caused? How did it come about that some traits are heightened in men, like their, as I told you, they have a bad habit of voyeurism. I explained what is voyeurism yesterday, but they have also a good habit of very focused attention, which is less among women. It doesn't mean it is not there among women, and especially outstanding women have very focused attention. That is why Nobel laureates are more, especially in science, etc., are more among men. But some women also do it. Can you name one woman scientist who got a Nobel Prize?
Sir, I don't know because I have not studied that much.
Rishi, do you know? Lovely?
Yes, sir. Lovely. Yeah.
Can you name a scientist who was a woman and got a Nobel Prize?
No, sir. Sorry. Sir, Lovely Didi don't know.
Doesn't know. You will say doesn't know. Singular, when S is not there in noun, then S comes in verb. Okay, you can remember this way. If S, which denotes plural, is absent in the noun, then it comes in the verb. This is just a way of remembering.
Yes, sir. Sir, can I start?
One scientist who got a Nobel Prize was Marie Curie. Okay.
Marie Curie. Yes, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Are you able to hear me now? I was speaking the answer. Marie Curie and his daughter also got the Nobel Prize in 1935. Though both daughter and mother got the Nobel Prize in physics.
So I don't know about the daughter. What was her name and what did she invent?
Sir, my mother told me about this, and she has two daughters, and both daughter got the Nobel Prize in physics. I don't know the name, so.
Achha, I'm not sure, but please check on Google and tell me what were their names and what did they discover or invent for which they got the Nobel Prize.
Okay, sir.
I know her husband also got, husband and wife got it together.
His whole family got the Nobel Prize.
And Marie Curie, but I don't think daughters got. Please check and tell.
Okay, sir.
Excuse
me,
anyway,
sir. We were saying that there are, of course, traits which most men and women share, but their degree is different. Some of the traits are more heightened among men and some are more heightened among women. For example, caring. Women are more known for caring for their parents, nursing any sick person, children, etc. So caring is more heightened among women. But this
Yes,
does
sir,
not
I got the
mean that
answer.
caring is not there among men. Caring is there among men also. Similarly, vice versa, men are more known for science, maths, and focused attention. But this does not mean that it is not there among women. And some outstanding women can also be equally focused on maths, etc. So Kushi is giving the names. Yes, Kushi. Video, please.
Sir, yes. Yes, sir. 1 second. Dave was calling. Yeah.
Excuse me,
Sir,
sir.
his name is Irene Curie, and he just invented the mobile X-ray unit during the First World War.
She invented what?
He invented the mobile X-ray unit.
X-ray unit.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you
And
switch
his
on your video when you are speaking?
yeah. Are you able to see me now?
Yes.
Yeah, she invented a mobile X-ray unit, and Marie Curie has total 5 Nobel Prize in his family.
Did Irene also got the Nobel Prize?
Sorry, sir, what?
You said her daughter is Irene Curie.
Irene Curie.
Irene Curie, did she also get Nobel?
Sorry, sir. Yes, sir.
Did Irene Curie also get the Nobel Prize?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't know this. Thank you.
Sir, can I start? Sir, can I start about today's topic?
Let me just review the last discussion, then we will start. Okay. We always review the previous discussion before coming to the topic for today.
Yes.
So
sir.
yesterday I have explained, we discussed. हाँ रीटा.
Devesh, आज का topic I could not understand. एक बार तुम बता देना.
Origins of the differences amongst men and women. Okay, we discussed what are the differences yesterday. Today we are talking how did they originate, what are the causes of these differences.
Okay, ठीक है Devesh, fine. Thank you,
I hope
Devesh.
everyone has understood the topic.
Sir, like you have to give reasons why.
Yes, sir.
How did these differences originate? Are they social origins, or they are given by nature, or are they biochemical differences?
So we have to
Okay.
explain. We have to explain the differences, and then we have to give reasons.
How do they originate? Do they come from society? That means social upbringing is different. Or are they given by nature? That means they are in DNA itself. Or have they appeared historically because of long experiences which are different between men and women? Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Some of these origins means the way they were caused, the way they came about. Some of these I had explained yesterday. For example, about social upbringing. So today we will go into greater depth. How did these differences, which some people deny, some people say men and women are same. Only society makes women wear sari or skirt, etc. Otherwise, there is physiological differences are there, but there are no mental differences among men and women. Some people hold this view. But yesterday we discarded this view. Discarded means rejected this view. We noted that definitely psychological differences are also there among men and women, but they are only limited differences. They are of degree, not absolute differences. We can't say that only women are caring and men are not caring. That is wrong. But we can say women are generally more caring than men. Similarly, we can say men are more focused on their long-term goals, and women are more focused on their relationships. But these are not absolute differences. These are differences only of degree. I hope this important point is clear. This is a very complex point. Rita, can you just explain to them? If you, or let us wait. Khushi or Lovely, will you try? What did I say just now?
Yes. Should I try?
Yes, Khushi. Good, very good.
Sir, you told us right now that there are in yesterday meeting we just declared the thing
Please
that
speak
physical.
louder or bring the mic closer to you.
So I have to switch off my video.
Okay.
Yeah. So you told us yesterday that that we have declared that there are no physical difference in men or women. They are same, but there are some difference, like women's as women's used to care a lot, but we can't say that men don't care. We can just say that both used to care, but the woman used to care more than the more and there are some physical and mental difference belongs the girls and boys, as the most of the women are totally depend on their husband uh, uh, income, as they their source of income is his husband. They used to get the money from his husband for shopping or some other work. Thank you.
No, you have got the point, but you haven't expressed it very clearly. See, first of all, I am saying nobody can deny that there are physical differences between men and women. On that, there is no dispute. Obviously, the physical differences are there in our anatomy. But the question whether there are psychological or mental and emotional differences are also there, on this there are sharp differences. Some people say that there are no nature given differences in the psyche or psychology of men and women. These are only made up by society. If boys are also given dolls in their childhood and girls are also given guns to play with, they will come out the same. But other opinion is that no, even if you gave the same toys to boys and girls, they will remain different because there are nature given psychological differences. And I also agree with the second view that there are some psychological differences which are given by nature. They are not coming from society. Now, these differences, however, are not very sharp. They are not absolute differences. They are only of degree, like on caring trait, on focus capacity, on aggressiveness, on voyeurism. I gave a bit of a bad example. Also, gossip. Degrees are different. They are not absolute differences. On all these traits, we see some difference of degree. I hope this point is now very clear. Now let me again test. Khushi, you try once again. What did I say? Say in the
Yes, sir.
same order.
Sir, you recently said that if a boy got a door in his childhood and the girl got a gun in his childhood, they still now they have some physical and mental difference belongs to them, as there are some they don't get any difference from the toys. They are they because the because of the guide that they got made the different from made them behave like
Nature.
this.
Nature has
Yes.
made them differently.
Yes. So nature made them differently.
Yeah. Just as nature has given them physical or anatomical differences. Anatomy, you understand?
Sorry, sir. What?
Anatomy. And I said anatomical differences. That comes from the word
Oh,
anatomy.
different.
What is anatomy in biology?
Different.
No.
I firstly heard this
Lovely,
word.
can you give the meaning of anatomy? What is the meaning of anatomy? We can't hear you, Lovely.
Sir, she has gone to washroom. She is coming.
Okay. Anatomy means body structure. Okay. Our body structure is obviously different.
Yes, sir.
On that, there cannot be any dispute. The difference is about psychological traits, mental traits, emotional traits. All this comes in psychology. Okay. So, Vaibhav, I gave examples of psychological differences. 4 or 5 examples I gave. Some are good, some are bad traits. Can you name some of them?
Sir, I forgot because
Okay, Bhavya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Can you name some of the traits that are very different? Traits means psychological habits. Can you name some examples that I gave between men and women which are there as differences?
Sir, if we will be seeing that women do more gossips,
Yes,
talking,
very
and
good,
men-
very good.
and many things, but boys focus in work. Like in that time, my father is also doing work. He's
No,
sitting
boys
beside me.
focus
He's also doing
more.
work.
Girls also focus on work. Girls also work very hard. For example, your mother must be working
But
very
they
hard.
gossip so much.
But long-term goals. Women focus more on immediate goals, especially about the relations around them. Okay. Men focus more on their long-term goals
Yes,
as compared to women.
sir. I want to say something.
Yes.
Sir, I was discussing with my mother. So my mother tell me that men have five
Told
organs.
me that.
Yeah, my mother told me that men have five organs, but a lady have six organs. The sixth organ is that if somebody touch him or if somebody touch her in a bad way or in a wrong way, she can identify his thought and his feeling, his intention.
No, this is called mind reading. I don't know if maybe it's a matter of degree. Women can do mind reading a little more than men. Okay. So these are differences of degree. It is not that men cannot do something which women can do. But certain things women can do a little better, and certain things men can do a little better. But there are lots of things which are the same as far as psychology is concerned. They all feel angry. They all fear for their family. They all uh, uh, get irritated. So, by and large, there are similar psychologies. But on some traits, TRAITS, traits means psychologically given habits. Okay? On some of these traits, men and women differ in degree. Okay? You are a boy. So you must know what is a bad thing often found among men. Can you name which you should never develop?
Sir, I think so. Like they, I am also a boy, so I don't know bad thing about us.
Do what?
I am also a boy now. I am also a male, so I don't know what
Well,
can
you
be
must
bad.
know. That is the reason you must know what are the bad habits common among men which you should never develop.
Sir, I am not thinking somebody that
You must have seen many men try to tease women. Okay? They try to.
Sir, sir,
Yes,
sir, I have to say something.
yes, Vaibhav.
If something went wrong, that man has said that it could be not happened if I will go to job, and then woman does it by mistakenly, then man's man's men's men's get angry, and then they kill the woman or kill the woman. मारने को क्या कहते हैं?
Okay, just think over again, then you can come a second chance. What I was saying
Sir,
was
can I tell
that
something?
many men try to be sexually
Sir, I have a
explicit. Wait,
Sir,
what is this, Bhavya? How many times I've told you, before speaking, you have to see whether the other person has finished his sentence or not. And then raise your hand and then ask. Okay? So I was saying, this is a very bad common habit among especially young men, that they try to tease especially good looking women. This is very, very denigrating. They lack self-respect. You should never run after women. Okay? Grown-up young men tend to do this, which is a extremely vulgar and bad habit. Women don't do this, but women do the opposite. They try to attract men. They put on a lot of makeup. This is also a bad habit. Okay? So we shall have self-respect and not go after each other's attention. Get the point, Bhavya?
Yes, sir.
Now say, what were you saying?
Sir, I think that boys, men have less patience compared to women.
I'm not sure about this. Women can also be impatient. Kushi, you want to say something?
yes, sir, I want to say. So, can I? So, may I?
You want to say?
I
Sir,
want
may
to
I
say
say?
something. So, may I say?
Yes, yes. Go ahead.
Sir, I want to say the man become more angry when the woman or someone had did something wrong. As there was an incident happened with weeks. So, should I share?
Yeah, yes.
I went to a cloth shop to get some clips for my hair, and there I saw a small child around 7 or 6 years old, and his father, and he come crying to his mother and said that that a boy just hit me in my eyes, and I told his grandfather about this, but his grandfather said nothing to him and said me never said me that you should not play here, go away from here. And his father just listened that the boy hit his son eyes. He become angry and he just slap and give a punch on his eye and go away from the home, and by saying that uh, it's only your mistake. So I guess this is wrong. The men used to become angry more faster than women.
Okay, Kushi, I'm not very sure about this. I think the difference is that men express their anger and aggression more physically, but women can also be very angry and be aggressive also, but generally they don't come to a physical fight as soon as men do. Okay, but there are other differences we have talked about which are very clear.
Yes, sir.
Women tend to talk more, they share secrets also more easily. Men focus on their long-term goals more. Women are more caring, especially for their immediate parents, children, etc. Men are more boastful, and both are egoistic, but in different ways. Men suffer from this bad habit of voyeurism, and women have a bad habit of doing a lot of makeup to get attention, and they feel jealous also more easily of each other. Do you all agree with my points, or is there any disagreement?
Sir, I am agree with the point.
Sir, I also agree
Because
with
of
this.
makeup, there is one more difference. Women often are less punctual. They are late for their time management is not that good. Many women, not all. There are some women who are very smart, who are very punctual, but many more women than men. As compared to men, women's time management is not that good. Is it okay?
Can I start?
Have you seen that women sometimes get late and men are ready and the women keep dressing up?
Yeah, sir. In our house also this happened.
Yes. So this is called time management. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So now we have understood.
I want to say
that,
something regarding this.
yes. Okay.
Sir, I want to say that I totally agree with this, and I want to say this like women used to use the phones and social media more than the boys, as compared to the boys. Boys used to use social things lesser than girls. They are more. They are more, and they
Selfies.
used to.
I think selfies.
Yes, sir. I was adding
more-
that point that boys used to take like more, not more than one pic in their phone of their self for their identity. Otherwise, if you see a girl phone, you will find more than 200 or 300 photos of her
So this we have
in
already
different poses.
mentioned.
In different poses.
They are very obsessed about obsessed. You understand?
Yes, sir.
OBSESSED.
अपने अंदर
Getting-
खोया जाना.
No. Slightly different. Obsessed means getting too stuck, too confined to something. That is called obsessed. किसी के बारे में पीछे पड़ जाना. That is called obsessed. Okay. So women are very obsessed with their looks very often. But there are great women who don't bother about their looks. It doesn't mean all women are like that. But as compared to men, women tend to be more obsessed about their looks. Men also spend a lot on their looks, but women spend even more. Spend time, spend energy, take a lot of discomfort In fact, spoil their faces with lot of makeup. This is very common. Am I wrong or am I right?
Sir, you're correct.
Okay. So women should get less bothered about their looks, and men should go less after good looking women. They should be more self-respecting. Okay. Now we come to today's topic. What are the reasons for these differences? How did this origins word is different slightly from reasons? When we say reasons of a phenomenon, you understand? Phenomenon means trend, any pattern, that is something that is occurring, something that is happening, that is called phenomenon. So
Sir,
when
may I
we
start?
talk about origins of a phenomenon, that is the phenomenon that we are talking today about is differences among men and women. So when we say origins rather than causes or reasons, then we are going into the way these differences came about. They originated, they started. When did they start? Okay, now Weber, you go ahead. Weber, you wanted to start first?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
About today's topic, firstly, I would say Namaskar, sir, and my dear friends. As you know that about today's topic, the origins of the spread through physiological difference between men and women. As we all know that there are two genders, female and male. As that we say that men are powerful than women, if we will take the chance with uh, our energy or our angryful mind, we can't get that we can't get that thing that we are deciding of. And if we will take that thing about from our mind while thinking, then we can achieve that thing. And as that's why the women are more powerful than men, because women take work with their mind, and men take their work with anger and not of mind. They take their work from anger, and that's why they could not that's why they could not do their work properly. And women, as far as women will get job, they take their work from their minds. So then that's why they can do there. And about today's topic, I have a thought also. If we will have the weapon of success, we can achieve the whole world. And thank you.
Okay, Weber, very good. But you spoke a little off the topic. Our topic is, why did such differences among men and women emerge? Emerge, you understand what is emerge?
No, sir.
EMERGE, emerge. Emerge means originate. How did they begin? Okay.
Yes.
Now, is Lovely there?
Yes.
Lovely, would you like to speak on the topic?
Sir, she's starting. Sir, she's saying just a minute. Sir, she is not trying to say.
Okay.
Sir,
So-
me and Lovely Didi, me and you are.
So Bhavya is not there. Rita, before we conclude, would you like to say something?
Sir, can I start? Actually, I was just revising for the topic.
Okay, very good. Start.
Yes. Physiology is a mental thinking. Physiology is a mental thinking process based on origin widespread physiological.
No, beta, not physiology, psychology. Physiology is outward body structure. Okay. Biology has two parts: physiology and anatomy. But psychology is about the thinking, about mind, about emotions. Our topic is psychology.
Based on the origin, widespread psychology difference between men and women are the first is the reproductive role, which is natural, which is natural, and the hormonal balance and the behavior. This is something natural which has been gifted to us by God. Next thing is in the childhood period, boys are taught not to cry, not to play with dolls, etc. This is social guidance given to them. The girls are asked to not the girls are asked not to go alone on street. They are asked not to wear small clothes and be polite, not to be angry. They are said that in this Sir, can I start from there? There
Yes,
itself?
yes. Continue from the same point.
The girls are not the girls are asked not to go alone on street. They're asked not to wear small clothes. They're asked to be polite and not to shout, because they have to go to the other house, and there they have to they have to keep the keep her family members always happy. If she'll not do this, she'll have to face many consequences. This is these are something I feel these are something rubbish things which are taught to the girls in their childhood period, due to which they face many problem when they grow, when their entire life is just based on these things only, that you should keep your family happy. You should they're not taught to just think about themselves. They're not allowed to think about themselves, their studies. They are said that you should be more focused on these things, on the social thing, because we have to stay in this society, so we have to follow the rules of the society. And nobody says a man to stay at home. Men are allowed to go. Men are allowed to go to party, to clubs. They're allowed to drink. They're allowed to spoil. They're allowed to spoil a girl's life. Her entire life. They're allowed to spoil the entire life. And when the society gets to know about all this, so the society blames the girl, that she is the only one who is the culprit, and she has done everything. The society questions her, what were you doing there? Why were you going there? When you are asked, when you are asked to stay home, you are asked to stay at your home. Why were you going? Nobody asks a man that why did you do that. Only the girls or women are taught that you should be in your limits, and you should stay at home, not wearing small clothes. In my personal opinion, also in nowadays, I've heard these things, that people saying the girl that it was your fault. Why were you going out if you are said that you are not allowed to go out of the home? This is your mistake. So this is the blame of our society, which makes a major difference between girls and boys, or women and men. After and the society encourages the men to do all this by blaming the girl. They do not ask any questions to boys or men, that why did you do that. They just blame the woman or girl, that why did you go there. So this is the main culprit in this thing is our society. And the next thing is that women are emotional. Women are very emotionally connected with their relationships, may it be daughter or mother, husband or wife, or daughter or father. They are emotionally connected to it. On the other hand, boys are seen to be more stronger, or they're not seen to be more connected with the relationship. They are just seen that they are in their own world. They are not seen to be attached with the family members. And in my personal opinion also, I've seen that the men's are more connected to the outer world, not their family. So this is also something which is taught by the society, their parents, that the boys are stronger. You should go out and work for your family. There is nothing there in the family to connect bonds with the family. There is nothing. This is also a society issue which has made a difference. And next thing is that as I said, that women are emotionally connected. That women are emotionally connected with their relationships. So this is according to physiology. According to psychology, this is because that the women or girls use their left-sided brain more. Because of this, they are emotionally connected. Because of this, they are emotionally connected. and the boys are seen to be angry and or aggressive because they use their because they use their right side of the brain more due to and this according to psychology, this is the reason for why women are more emotional than boys. Thank you, sir.
Very good, lovely. You spoke very well. You covered lots of points. And also you went into the topic exactly why these differences are there. Though you focused more on one particular reason only, that is social. To what extent society is creating these differences. You did not go into the historical reason. I'll tell that in a minute. Now,
So, sir,
Khushi, would you like to speak?
yes, sir. Namaskar, everyone. My name is Khushi, and today I will speak on this topic as in earlier time, women were forced to give a birth to a baby boy, not to a baby girl, as the girls were not allowed to go to school. They were only allowed to allowed to do the household work, and the boys were given the toys and so much facilities that were not given to girls. As now now also in some areas, girls are not able to study. They are forced to do the household work, even if they are given the if they are given a opportunity to study, so they have to do the housework too. After coming from home, their mothers used to told them they are only they are girls. They should maintain maintain their anger. They should be polite to others, never show their anger to front of someone, must be so quiet and not allowed to laugh very highly in front of someone, or not even in the personal, not allowed to talk much on the phones, not allowed to use social network apps. And so they are only allowed to, if they focus on one goal only. One is, if they are allowed to study, so only study. If they are not allowed to study, so uh, household work and marriage. But I think that there must be some changes in now also. If the boys are getting such a opportunity to become a doctor, engineer, so why should not girl become a doctor, engineer, many more things that they can. They should have a freedom to choose their future partner and future jobs, or so they have dreams to come true. There are many dreams that a girl used to think while they are growing, but the parents, under the parents pressure, they are not able to tell their parents what they want to become in their life. They only used to see the happiness of the parents that they want to just give to their daughter. After all, in the wedding also, why there is a kanyadan, why it's not a gift for a girl, why it named as kanyadan? It should be like a gift to the girl side. It should be such like that. Why a dan? Because dan means give. It's not like a parents used to give their daughter permanently to the boy. It's like they used to give a life partner to the boy for his life. And I guess this should be changed. Thank you.
Good. Very good, Kushi. You also came to the topic, which was very challenging. But again, you also focus mainly on the social restrictions leading to some undesirable or ris- ris- emergence of limitations in women's personality. So you also emphasize more on the patriarchal nature of society. Patriarchal means male dominated, and the restrictions it puts on women and even from childhood, even on girls. So this leads to some differences between men and women when they grow up. So now I'll tell you there are some other reasons also for these differences apart from patriarchal restrictions or social restrictions that are put on women and girls by society. Some other factors are also leading to differences among men and women. Rita, would you like to say something? We can't hear you, Rita.
Ma'am, you're muted.
Okay, now I'm audible.
Yes.
Devesh, I can recollect these points only that because of since ages, since times immemorial, patriarchal setup of society was such that till date, and moreover, second is biological reason. Girls are made weak, and it's a weaker sex as compared to men. So their psychology is different from men. Then the working of the brain also that also is said in the last class. Women left side of the brain, so psychological differences because of that also. Then upbringing of the parents and the societal impact, all these things accumulating, that all these things accumulatively they bring a major difference, psychological difference because of the weaker sex and society and whatever their mindset. This much only I can suggest, Devesh. Rest you will give us the right answer.
No, that's a very good, important point that even stronger physique that men enjoy leads to some psychological differences. This is a very good point.
That is because women get harassed because they're weaker. So that's why the person can bully them, and they can whatever they can
And they
harass
have to
them.
be
And
more concerned about their security.
yeah, that's you told us that martial art and these things should be inculcated included in the
Yeah,
syllabus also,
yeah.
so that self-protection. So this is because violence.
That is, of course, for both men and women, because family is same, our human nature is same. Even if the family's woman is harassed by some vicious male outside, then the men of the family also feel very hurt. So everyone has to learn martial art.
Sir,
Okay.
can I say something?
Yes, lovely. Most welcome. It's a very challenging topic for your age, but I'm very happy that we have been able to discuss this and you have understood lots of points. Very good. Yes, lovely.
Yes. The upbringing from the parents and the society influences the major difference that makes in a when men and women. Now these are the next things which like the biological facts or the other things, these effects later. But the first thing is that it makes a major difference is the upbringing of the parents and the society influence. This is the first and major difference that makes. After that, these things like when people then like when they grow up, then these things only come up like men are told not to be cry. They're asked to job, and the women are not allowed to job. So with whatever they are taught in their childhood period, these things only upbring in their adulthood or teenage period. So I think that upbringing of the parents and the society influence is the major difference between men and a woman, and the rest of the points are after that.
Okay. Very good.
So
Vicky, you
I
want to
also,
say something? Yes.
yes, sir. Should I?
Yes.
So, as if if the girl rejected to a boy for a marriage, then the boy used to just do a acid attack to her, but
Please
she
speak
still not.
louder.
Yeah. If a girl reject a boy for the marriage, so the boy mainly used to do a acid attack on the girl, but the family, most of the family used to say that this is a girl mistakes. She should not use the way the boy used to wait for her. So I guess this also should change.
Oh yes, it should change, but actually it is not that women are not revengeful. What you are hinting at is that men become more revengeful or vindictive. This is called, if somebody wants to take a revenge, badla lene ke liye bolte hain vindictive. But women also can be vindictive, but in a different way.
Sir,
Just
at
because they
times
are
women have
physically
to
not
take
as
revenge for
strong,
their
so
rights.
they will not physically attack, but they can do manipulation. They can go to the police and create a false FIR against a man. If he doesn't want to marry, they can say he has raped me or whatever. So women can also be vindictive, but less often. Yes. Yes,
Sir,
Kushi,
I
you are
want
saying.
to add a point.
Yes, lovely.
So at times women's the men's and the men's reach to this level that women's have to take action and they have to take revenge. There is a limit for everything. So at times the men go to their worst level. So women's have to take revenge.
Oh
And
yes,
as you said that
that is no, that is a just
station.
that is a just retort. Retort means जवाब देना. RETORT. That is a just retort. वो तो सही चीज है कि अगर कोई बहुत गलत करे तो हमें उसको पनिश करना चाहिए.
Even a school also do that.
Vindictive means when someone is not wrong, but even then you want to hurt. So Khushi gave the example that if a woman rejects a man for marriage, he can more easily become vindictive. He can throw acid, he can beat, or he can hurt. But I was giving the example that women, while may not be physically hurting men, they can also be vindictive. That is punishing in an unjust manner. Just because a man doesn't want to marry a woman, that woman can also sometimes become vindictive. Yes, Khushi?
So
You were
I
saying
want to
something?
say yes, sir. Sorry, sir, my mic was just muted and I was speaking something else. So should I just go on my point that I want to speak?
Yes.
So I want to say like if there's an incident or something, so mostly the girl, if there's a car accident or if a car is going very slowly or the driver is not able to drive the car, so the people who are driving behind that car used to say that ये लड़की ही होगी जरूर 101% ये लड़की होगी.
Khushi, this happens with me many a times. Then they
Yeah.
bully us
Not
unnecessarily.
only with
Your
you,
fault
but
is there, but then
Isn't
also
it
we are
correct
bullied.
that we shall not generalize like this, but generally it is not incorrect that women tend to be not as good drivers as men.
And they used to judge a driver by their driving sense, or if he's a boy, then they used
We
to
should
say
never
he's a new learner, he's a new learner.
We
Yes.
should never judge or over generalize. Because generalize तो हम करना पड़ता है. We can't have laws in social society. We have to generalize, but we should not over generalize. Without looking at the facts properly, we should not make any generalization. This is called over generalize. Okay, that is wrong. But it is also true that women are generally not as efficient as men in matters like driving.
sorry, sir,
I
I
think Rita will
disagree
be a
here.
better person to answer this question. Is it true or not? Between your daughter and your son, Who is a better
Of
driver?
course, of course, it's true, Devesh. They're more efficient. Boys are much more efficient most often. But I'm
In
saying,
driving, not in
yeah,
everything.
in driving only I'm saying. But
Yes.
I'm saying, like Khushi said, if people are drunk and they don't drive properly, and many a times boys also do like this. But then also, if even if we are correct, they'll blame us just
Yes.
because we are women. They'll check out who is driving.
Uh,
They are at wrong, but they will see a woman is driving, then they'll blame us only.
yes,
They
that
know
is
they are
very
wrong.
true. This is called creating a stereotype. How many of you have heard the word stereotype?
Yes, sir, I've heard.
Sir, I also heard, and you told us the meaning.
What is the meaning of stereotype?
So you told us that like a example, social media, the people used to hide their reality behind the camera. They used to show their happy face to the others, not the way they used to live with others. Only show the best part of their life that they are
Khushi?
doing.
No, this is not stereotype. This will be called glorifying yourself. Glorifying yourself. अपने आप को बड़ा चढ़ा के दिखाना. Boasting. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Stereotype means when we overgeneralize, when we create a misrepresentation about some person or some group of people wrongly. That is called stereotype. For example, if we say that all Muslims are violent, that will be a stereotype. That will be a wrong description of Muslims. Not all Muslims are violent. Yes, some Muslims are violent. Hindus are also violent sometimes. But stereotype should not be made that every Muslim you meet will be violent. That will be making a stereotype. Okay. Stereotype is overgeneralizing and especially misrepresenting some group or people on the basis of some bad assumption about them. Okay. Is my point clear? For example, ये एक stereotype है कि women को तो drive करना आता ही नहीं है. No, this is overgeneralization. Some women are very good drivers. अब तो वो planes भी drive कर रही हैं. Right? So overgeneralize नहीं करना चाहिए. But yes, if we say that generally men are better drivers than women. Men
That is
learn
true.
driving more easily than women. This we can say. But whether this is due to restrictions put by patriarchal society on girls or because of something in our DNA difference, in our biochemistry difference, that is a matter for discussion. Okay?
Devesh, you can conclude now.
Now we come to the points that are left out. I generally try to bring up the points that are left out in the discussion yet. We were to highlight what are the origins and causes of the differences between men and women as they exist. We are not saying that men and women are completely different. We are not saying that all men are superior than women. No. Women are superior than men in some respects, like caring. Men are superior than women in some respects, like focus, which is reflected, as we said, in driving skills, in fighting, in long-term goals, etc. So some differences are there. Now we are asking why these differences have come. You have mentioned very well one point that many of them are due to patriarchal nature of society. Patriarchal society gives more importance to men even in their childhood. Boys are given more importance. I will give you one homework for tomorrow. Rita, we will discuss something around this. Do mothers indulge their sons more than their daughters?
Do mothers indulge?
Indulge, you understand? Khushi,
More
Lovely, do you
involved.
understand indulge?
Sir, can you please repeat? I was not able to hear you properly.
Care
Do
or love.
mothers indulge their sons more than their daughters?
Care
या
or
parents
love.
ले लेते हैं. Do parents indulge their sons more than their daughters? Indulge means give affection to.
More time, attraction, kind, and love, and so on. Peace and so on.
Yeah, very good. So, this is the topic for tomorrow. Okay, Rita?
Yes, Devesh. Thank you.
Gender में babe.
I was adding, apart from we have accepted that your point is very valid. Valid means right. Very valid that patriarchal nature of society, which gives more importance to boys than girls from very beginning of childhood, is to a large extent responsible for the differences we see between men and women. But I would like to say, apart from patriarchal society, there are some other reasons also.
Sir, I want to say something more
Wait, Khushi,
interesting.
now we are running out of time. Let me finish. We will have it tomorrow again. The second reason is natural, given by nature. It is in our biology. For example, women are not only meant for childbirth and child caring, which makes them psychologically different, obviously. But also, women have more of certain chemicals in their body, and men have other chemicals. Especially the enzyme called estrogen is more in women, and the enzyme called testosterone is more in men. And these enzymes lead to different kinds of psychological habits also. For example, testosterone is very clearly associated with aggression, and estrogen is associated with love for children and care for relationships, etc. Okay. In fact, we can explain that why testosterone became more dominant among men and estrogen became more dominant among women historically. How can we explain that? In the process of natural selection, humans spent a lot of time in their Stone Age. History, that is recorded history, is only about 10,000 years old when agriculture was developed and humans started writing. Before that, our period is called prehistory, when we were living in Stone Age. This prehistory is about 4 million years old, 40 lakh years old. And even Homo sapiens, the more intelligent men and women, came to Earth or emerged on Earth about 1 lakh years back ago. 1 lakh years ago, or more precisely 70,000 years ago, we have got the earliest records of Homo sapiens. Okay, Homo sapiens sapiens, the intelligent species of humans. Earlier species were called Neanderthal, Australopithecus, Ramapithecus, etc. Okay, these were earlier species which died away, and only Homo sapiens survived because they were more intelligent. But for about 80,000 years, they were living in Stone Age. History began only 10,000 years ago. And during Stone Age also, men and women were not so different, but differences started emerging because men were being physically stronger, had to go for hunting. Women stayed back and looked after the children. This happened for almost 1 lakh years, or sorry, for 4 million years. Even pre-Homo sapiens was doing the same thing. So in this long process, only those men focus very strongly because they had to go for hunting. Someone who could not focus strongly just got killed and his genes could not be passed on. Is it clear? So this is called natural selection. Only those
Yes.
genes survived in the line was strong because they were all hunting. On the other hand, women were gathering fruits and all the time talking to their children. That is why they gossip more. They were staying back. They were collecting flowers. They were collecting berries. They were collecting vegetables, etc. Fruits. So they did not. Even those women survived who could not focus very strongly, but they could do multitasking. That is why women multitasking more easily, and especially child care more easily. Okay. So this is the natural selection and historical factor which explains how our genes and our biochemistry of enzymes is also different. It is not just because of patriarchal society that differences have emerged. Second deeper point is that even within society, social factor and social conditioning, this is called, patriarchy is not the only reason for difference. Just because parents give more attention to boys, that is not the reason. Because of weaker physique, parents care more for girls' safety. So they don't allow them to go out or stay late in the etc. Because they are. This is not because of patriarchy that they are creating different conditions. Okay. Then third point is that balance and social together combine in a very strong way to subtle differences among men and women. They work together. The first point was it is not patriarchal society that within social conditions factors operating concern for women's safety and their child care function. Okay, men cannot give birth to child. Men cannot the child feed the child. Can do that. So because of patriarchy, but social conditioning apart from is also creating difference. And more I'm saying that beyond social conditioning, biology and historical self has created the difference. Okay, I hope my point is very clear. And above all, these differences come from this combined operation of social conditioning and biology. For example, social conditioning is that women should care for family, nurse the sick people, look after children, etc. Social conditioning is there. Dolls are given to small girls to play with, and cars and guns are given to boys. So social conditioning is happening. But I am saying that the woman's biology itself is creating the same difference also, because women have more of oxytocin. Oxytocin is another chemical which is the love chemical. Okay, you feel strong love for babies, for example. This is more in women than in men. Okay, so social conditioning and biological difference together become a very big alliance and create the difference that we see between men and women on so many fronts. Okay, now you want to say something?
Yes, so I want some very interesting thing. As in Mizoram, as in Mizoram, the women tired up of this system as if a girl or boy marries, so the girl have to move to the boy's house. So the girls used to just make a new rule that the if the in a here the head is father is the head of a house, but there the mother is the head of the house. Everything are done by the mother, and if a girl weds a boy, so the beds use the bride so the man the girls used to stay at his mother home, and the man used to come to the his home to stay, like opposite of everything is used to go there.
Yes, very good point. See,
Yes.
society has dictated that women have to go to men's house rather than the other way after marriage. A lot of problem will be solved if man has to go to woman's house. No, Rita? वो जो
Yes,
सास बहू का और वो जो सारा वुमन को सफर करना पड़ता है, all that will
very
change
true.
because
It
a man's mother-in-law is always very kind, but a woman's mother-in-law is not always kind.
really it should reciprocate. उल्टा होना चाहिए.
So why is it not there? Why is it not like that? See, I'll tell you why is it not like that. Historically, there were many matriarchal societies. This is called matriarchal, in which woman is given more importance, and the uh, uh, this lineage or the line of family goes along the mother's name rather than father's name, and woman is more important in the house, and man after marriage comes to the woman's house. Some societies were there, but all these societies were annihilated. You understand? Who understand the meaning of annihilated?
dissolved.
Finished off. Annihilated means finished off. Why were they finished off? Because patriarchal societies were stronger. Men in patriarchal societies were stronger, and men had to fight, and they finished off matriarchal society. You understand how this history has happened? And mostly patriarchal societies survived. Other societies also learned from them, which were matriarchal. Some learned that if man is not given more importance, then in fighting we will suffer. Okay? This is how patriarchy emerged. This is also a very important question. Why did patriarchy become universal? There were some matriarchal societies also in old age, in Stone Age, but those societies got finished in the fights between tribes. Get my point now? This is a very complex point. Let me see if Khushi has understood.
So what?
Can you repeat what I said just now? Why did matriarchal society get annihilated? Annihilated, finished off. Matriarchal societies died down, and only
Sir,
patriarchal societies remained, apart from some exceptions. Why?
sir, because the man in a house, the woman used to do all the housework more than the man. They used to take care of the child behind the man. The man used to only provide the money, not all the love that are given by the woman at the home.
Yes. You have not completed the point. Lovely, can you complete the point? Rita, can you explain to them? This just reminds me that I think every class should have 2 teachers.
Devesh, the way you explain, because you have such a good historical background, but you said that matriarchal society were there earlier, but
Yes.
they did not survive. They were finished off, annihilated, because on fighting front, they were proved to be weaker, and the
Yes.
patriarchal used to, where the patriarchal